Welcome to Immigration Quicktake. This is Ellie Rutledge Silver with the American Immigration Lawyers Association. Yesterday, Senators Tillis, Lankford, and Hatch introduced the Succeed Act, an effort to provide a permanent solution for Dreamers. Here to share details of the bill is Greg Chen, AILA Director of Government Relations. Greg, thanks for joining me. How does this bill differ from the DREAM Act?
Ellie, when Senators Tillis, Lankford, and Hatch came together to work on this bill, their real goal was to offer a Republican alternative that offers a permanent solution for the Dreamers, and that is the bill that they have basically come up with. The bill is similar to the DREAM Act and other DREAM bills in that it provides protection from deportation from the Dreamer population, and it gives them a permanent solution by being able to stay here and gain a green card and ultimately apply for citizenship. Because they were trying for a more conservative, restrictive bill, while they keep similar eligibility requirements like age and other restrictions, they are tougher on the criminal and national security background checks, which they've been very upfront about. Significantly, they do keep a path to U.S. citizenship in the bill, but this one has the longest such path of at least 15 years before an applicant, a Dreamer, could ever obtain citizenship under the bill.
Does AILA have concerns about this bill?
First, Ellie, AILA recognizes the important work by these three Republican senators in putting together this bill and advancing a proposal that provides permanent protection for Dreamers, which we know have overwhelming support in the American public now. That being said, the bill has several provisions that are extremely problematic and are unworkable and would need to be changed before AILA could support the bill. I already mentioned the extremely long 15-year naturalization process. In addition, the bill has a provision that requires those who apply for the protection to relinquish their right to seek relief of any other kind if they were to violate the terms later on of their status. That's a due process concern that deeply concerns AILA. Another provision excludes the family members of Dreamers from being able to get protection under the bill, and it likely blocks Dreamers who obtain their green cards from being able to petition and sponsor their spouses and children for protection in the United States, lawful status, which all LPRs currently can do. That's a very troubling provision as well. In addition, the criminal exclusion grounds for being able to apply under the bill are much tighter, and one concern we have is that anybody who is convicted of even minor offenses, nonviolent offenses, including driving without a license or a suspended license, would be excluded from the bill. Finally, I should mention there are a few provisions that have nothing to do with protecting Dreamers, even though the bill sponsors had intended to keep it as a narrow Dreamer-focused bill. These provisions would, first of all, severely limit the president's authority to grant parole. That parole authority has been used by presidents going back decades, both Republicans and Democrats, and have enabled medical professionals, people who are the family of veterans, to gain protection, former veterans themselves, and other compelling populations who have contributed here for humanitarian or public benefit if they are allowed to enter. That authority would be just about extinguished. Another provision targets visa overstays, and it will have a tremendous impact on people who are here on business, student, or other visitor purposes who might overstay for even a very brief period of time of 24 hours, or even violate the terms of their visa in a very small, minor way, perhaps unintentionally, such as a student who fails to matriculate for a full course load. That could be a violation of their visa status, and that could result in them relinquishing any right to relief to be able to stay in the United States. Those are very severe, harsh consequences that have been added into this bill, apparently for no reason.
What are the next steps?
Well, there are now several bills in both the House and the Senate that have been introduced that protect Dreamers. And the most important thing now is that Congress needs to act, and the leadership in Congress needs to bring a DREAM bill up for a vote now, as soon as possible. AILA prefers and recommends that members of Congress support the bipartisan DREAM Act that was introduced in the Senate by Senators Graham and Durbin, which now has 4 Republican co-sponsors and 6 Democratic co-sponsors. We think that bill is not only the best bill in policy and substance, but it also has the best chance of unifying the two parties to get the job done. In terms of what you can do, AILA has an action alert now that has been going for several weeks, asking the public and AILA members to contact Congress, to contact your member of Congress, and ensure that they support the DREAM Act and that they call upon their leadership to bring it up for a vote. We also have our chapters throughout the country doing visits now in state to ask their members to do the same thing. And if you are interested in engaging that, we ask you to go to your website and get active now so that the DREAM Act can be passed this year.
Thanks, Greg, for joining me. For the rest of you, please stay tuned for more updates from the American Immigration Lawyers Association.